ladies, I came across an online forum that asks, what is something you have had to unbrainwash yourself about? And I was shocked at some of the responses. So, of course, I had to hear from you. What is something, ladies, you've had to unbrainwash yourself about? And how did you unbrainwash yourself?
I think that, you know how you always have these positive affirmations,
Yeah.
and, you know, it's like, be kind and all that, and I believe that. But I had to unbrainwash myself about thinking that the way I treat people, that they were gonna treat me the same way.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, they always tell you, be kind and
Yeah.
treat people the way you want to be treated, but that don't necessarily mean that they're going to treat you that way.
true.
And so now if I do something, I have to do it because I want to do it, and I'm not expecting them to necessarily reciprocate.
Yes.
And that's how I unbrainwashed myself, and it also made me just a little more positive and not be disappointed.
Right.
You know, if I need something, or if I'm hoping, you know, that whoever I did something for, that they would reciprocate it. I don't think that anymore. I just do it because I just want to do it, or maybe I want to be kind, and then that's
great.
it. So what about you, ladies?
I had to unbrainwash myself to believing that saying no was like a mean thing. I think when you grow up and you have parents who are like, oh, do you like this? And you say, no, I don't like it. That like, oh, you don't say that. Like, that's mean, Adrian. Like, I was taught, you know, you always have to be kind. You always have to be nice. You always say yes. And so for me, one of the biggest turning points in my life was learning that saying no does not make me a mean person. It just means no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I
an
would
opinion.
feel like such a guilt trip
Yeah.
if I was invited to something and I genuinely didn't want to go. I would literally go because if I don't show up, that's mean.
Right,
What?
right.
That's a good one. I had to unbrainwash myself that the only people that can become successful in life are those that have college degrees.
Oh, wow.
I think in my culture,
Yeah.
that's really heavily put upon you, especially like you got to go to college, you got to go to college. And I didn't, you know, finish college. I started out and then I went on my own path and kind of, you know, started to build my career on my own. And I'm not saying that works for everybody. And I'm also not saying that a college degree isn't important. I certainly want to save so Monaco has that option. I just think today it's not so much about college degrees, it's more about skill. Skill is something that is important to have and important to execute and practice and and become the best at. So I think the more that, you know, I think that's hitting me a lot today too, because my cousins, all my cousins are under, they're all around the age of 20, 30, where they're starting to make those decisions. And I'm hearing the difference in our household as we're starting to teach kids that this age, you can make a lot of money through the internet.
Sure.
You can make a lot of money with the technology that's available to you. It doesn't have to be the traditional textbook route.
Yeah, definitely. You know, especially for people of color now, there are a lot of opportunities. But I will say, me being a college graduate, also for people of color, a lot of times it was established that we could not get certain jobs unless we had,
True.
you know, that piece of paper. And now times are changing, which is good that you can be more self-sufficient. Okay, I got something real quick, you guys. I'm sure most people can relate to overextending yourself. And while some people thrive off of juggling multitasks and responsibilities, others might feel overwhelmed and exhausted. So what are your thoughts? How do you handle being overextended? You ladies are all business women. How do y'all handle it? And, you know, like even right now, y'all sick and y'all still working because I make y'all come in.
I feel like
it's a juggling
honestly,
act.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
think we'll ever get it right, especially for the moms on here. And you guys, like, bravo! Like, I can't even imagine doing all that you do and then adding on. You know, like that is a lot of work. So, just being honest, I think that I have really tried to find a balance. And it's still not working. Like, even though I think one of the things I've tried to implement is taking one day off a week. That is like just time for myself and my husband.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really good.
But even that is not enough. I mean, it really isn't necessarily bringing balance. But you try to do your best, and I think that's the point: is being aware and trying your best.
Yeah, and I think you also have to explain to people in your life that if you feel overextended, to say, listen, I need a break. today? Can you do this for me? I think you also have to delegate and let people help you a little bit. I think sometimes we don't do that as women because we feel like we can handle it all, but it's okay to say, you know what? Can you just give me a couple of hours? I just need to take a bath. I just need to close my eyes. Anything so that you can, have a little bit of sanity.
That's true.
Also, remembering that saying no actually adds value to you. When you say no to certain things, it actually ups your value and your availability to people. Seeming too available is not a great thing. Saying yes to everything is not a great thing. And your preserved energy to exert in certain areas that are really important to you is really valuable to learn.
Definitely. And you know what, Munchkin, take that break. Don't, you got to cut off the phone. You got to, not make any commitments. It's very important to have a pause and take that break no matter what. Whatever is pending can happen tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you give yourself that day off, that's what I do. I give myself one day off and I look forward to it. And it's just a reset and a reboot. So for all of our, especially our busy mothers, you may not you may not be able to take the whole day off. Maybe you could take a couple of hours or have somebody watch your kids. Make that time for you because that's very important. That's how you reset.